All right, let's go and get started. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear, and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be checking out Starfire Eternal Cycle. This game officially launched on September 8th, 2025, and if you're not familiar with what this game is, Starfire is a love letter to classic arcade side-scrollers, reimagined with roguelite progression, modern action polished, and then just one more run itch. It's fast, punchy, and all about no-pressure fun with tight combat, slick movement, and endless ways to cause chaos. And it's very slick, it is very fast, it is very punchy, it meets all those requirements. It definitely has some roguelike progression in here, and I've been having a lot more fun, so I definitely think it feels in that need to have another one more run sort of itch sensation that you usually get when playing these sorts of games. We're going to check it out a little bit here for ourselves. I might post a couple of videos on this one because I do in fact really have enjoyed this game, and so that being said, if you like the sort of content you want to see more games like Starfire Eternal Cycle here on the channel, make sure you are like, subscribe, and comment down below. So let's get into it a little bit so that way I can describe a little bit what, the ins and outs of the system and what we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I was reading the description through the page and stuff like that, and I'm not entirely certain what the main character's name is. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's probably Starfire, which is, it's a pretty cool name to say the least. But what we have here is our character. By default, you have access to 3 weapons, and there are definitely other weapons to unlock. I have already unlocked the Frostbow. I'm not a big fan of that one right away, but I do like the fact that you can check out your weapons in your base. So what you can see right here is every character has like a normal auto attack function, and then they also have dashes. By default, you have 2 charges, which are represented by those pips underneath your character. We also have a heavy attack that is on our left bumper, so if I do that, for instance, that's going to do that little hail of one frost arrow. I'm sure that gets pretty badass later on. Trust me, all the abilities kind of change over time, and it's pretty cool. And then we also have what's called a rage ability. So essentially, whenever we hit enemies with our attacks, we're going to build up a meter that you can see underneath my action icons over there at the bottom right. And then there's like 3 pips underneath that one. As we fill each meter, we're going to get a charge of rage. And if we actually have 3 charges of that rage, we can then activate like a big ultimate attack essentially, and it's pretty cool looking. Unfortunately, we can't really check that out here in the base to kind of showcase that one. But by default, what we have access to is the lightning fist. That's your default weapon you start out the game with, and then we also have the flamethrower as well as the gold axe. Now I have beaten the game with the lightning fist and the flamethrower. I have not had luck beating the game with the gold axe just yet. But I will say, for safety's sake, taking the flamethrower is actually a pretty safe bet for trying to push the difficulties, because the way this game works is that when we come over here and we check our basically our options for our difficulties, I'm currently trying to push through the 3rd difficulty, which is called normal. You start off on beginner, but essentially the way this works is each difficulty basically adds on another biome for you to tackle and conquer. So I've made it all the way to the final boss of the Frozen Wastelands, but I kind of got basically more or less lost there. Not lost, but I got my butt tore up essentially by the final boss. It is really difficult. There's a lot going on there. So I'm hoping that maybe I can showcase my fighting prowess by completing this final boss here for you. So we'll find out. But you can see over there, as we go up in the difficulties, you have additional bonus modifiers, basically showcasing what we'll have in the run. Over here on the left side, you'll see this little bed over here. We'll use, basically, I would think it's called Dark Elemental. I assume that's what it's called. I can't remember specific. Dark Crystal Core, that's what it's called. And essentially, you use the Dark Crystal Core to do different things, such as increase, or basically recover health whenever you transition to a new room, increase your starting health, increase the amount of gold that you have at the start, things like that nature, and also do something really important, or at least for me, which is core slots. And we'll talk about that in a second as we get into the run. And down here at the bottom, we have our armor station. Essentially, we start out in our primal armor, and then you get access to several other armors. I don't know if I had these at the initial start, so I can't really talk about that so much. But what I can tell you is you can see over here that each armor gives you different passive benefits for having this equipped. You can even right trigger that if you want to see what the description is. As you can see, we have a couple of armors available to us right now, as well as a couple of armors that are not available to us right now. What I am thinking I am going to end up doing is probably going with another armor, something that maybe I haven't used. I haven't used the Stormwing Envoy, so I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And as you can see, they can also upgrade as well. I have upgraded one of these armors up to level 2. I believe that's the Storm Envoy. The only thing is, I am not entirely certain what I upgraded about this. I wasn't looking at my passives over on the right side. I was hoping there was going to be like a pop-up box that would show me the relevant information about what it is that I gained when I leveled up. So I do actually hope that the developer sees this video and looks to maybe make like a little like hot, tooltip change to show you what exactly it is you're gaining whenever you decide to level up a specific armor. There's also a couple of other places I'd like to see some tooltips to explain some stuff. But that's okay. And then over here we have a archive. It's here that we can take a look at all the basically passives that we can get as we're playing through the game, as well as something called cores. Now these are very essential to the game, and you're going to be picking up a lot of them and then mixing and matching them, because that's basically how you do a lot of your fighting, is by picking up, basically mixing and matching those to essentially, make a combo to get you to victory. And then over here we have our resource conversion. You can take any number of these resources over here and then swap them for another resource. These red resources over here are mainly, and only as far as I can tell so far, used to unlock new weapons, so that's a very rare resource that I don't want to swap over. But if I feel like I have more of that dark elemental stuff, I can actually swap this over for some of this red stuff as well. That way I can unlock those weapons even faster. Matter of fact, I am working on one of them. I believe the next one we're going to be able to unlock is called the Quake Hammer. The cool thing is you can actually see the names of it and what you're going to be getting whenever you have it. So there's kind of, I don't know why they're obscured if they're going to tell you all about them. But as you see, the Quake Hammer is only 15 of those red stones, and we're at 6. So if we get enough of those dark elemental stones, we can then exchange it for those red ones, and then we'll have a win. So that was a lot of talking about a lot of nothing. You guys want to see the gameplay, so let's go ahead and get started. We do have the flamethrower. As you saw, that was my heavy attack, is the flamethrower. But in all actuality, this is actually kind of like a missile launcher. And as long as I hold down my attack button, my person actually is going to shoot off like volleys of shots that actually also have a chance to do elemental homing rockets as well. So if I go over here, you can see over here, the base damage is 70, 10% chance to trigger explosion on attack. For every 10 explosions, you launch 3 homing missiles. So we basically want to cause as many explosions as possible, so that way we can shoot off more homing missiles. Each missile deals 280% damage, 200% explosive damage, and the explosion itself deals 140 damage to surrounding enemies. So it's a very good AoE weapon. We're going to pair that with a couple things in here. So let's go and get started. We are on difficulty 3, trying to push into difficulty 4. From my understanding, whenever you get to difficulty 5, it also unlocks even more synergy here in the base. Like you could have like new gameplay options as well. So I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. So we're going to jump into our run. And because this is a side-scroller beat-em-up, you're going to be very familiar with how gameplay goes in side-scroller beat-em-up fashion. But every time you start a run, essentially what's going to happen here is you're going to find yourself with and I think they call these, I keep on messing this up, insectoid crystals is essentially how they're called. So as you can see right here, each crystal has a different color or element basically around them. So this first one is a gold elemental insectoid. This one in the middle is an ice, and this one on the far right is a time element. So basically what you want to look is we want to see what passives really work for us, as well as basically the stats we're going to be getting. We're not really going to be working with Frost a lot, but at the same time, this exclusive affix in the bottom has me really excited. This is increased homing missiles quantity by 9, and each trigger has a 60% chance to launch double missiles. That sounds really cool. Some of these exclusive affixes can really just absolutely help your game, like so much so. So I think I'm actually going to go with this ice one right here, insectoid core. Okay, so I was right. And then we got to do what's called embedding. At whenever you first start up, I believe you only have 5 of these core sockets available, maybe 6, and then you got to unlock the other ones in the passive tree. I don't know how to unlock those last 2 so far, because as of right now in my base, I am not allowed to essentially buy those or upgrade to them. So we apparently this first level only had 2 enemies, so we're good with that one. And then you can see every time we complete one of these rooms, we might get ourselves an insectoid core. This one's a thunder, blood, and wood. Every element has passive benefits. The more we have of them, the more they stack up. and they basically the more bonuses you get. So you can see over there on the left side, since we have an ice elemental bond, let's go ahead and equip this wood one as well. We can hit our left trigger right here, and it'll give us a lowdown of what happens if we get basically more of those socketed into us. So we have only one wood insectoid core, but if we had a second one, we would summon 3 vines at the start of battle, dealing 300% weapon damage per attack. And the thing is, those vines stay with us the whole time, and they move towards our target, so they don't stay in place, and so that's pretty cool. On the ice side of things, whenever we have this one, which actually might work, because I forgot we did actually, we do have that core on us, so this could actually work in our favor. Activates Frost Aura, reducing enemy movement speed by 30% and increasing damage taken by 15% within the aura. Also has a 35% chance to freeze the target when critically hit. I'm not entirely sure what freeze does at the moment, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'm sure it just like stuns the target, taking extra damage. Frost Aura evolves into a Frigid Aura. Sounds pretty good. I've never messed with the ice stuff that much, but maybe we will. It depends on what cores we get. The one element I seem to really gravitate towards is Shadow. Shadow seems incredibly strong, but the wood element also seems to be a fairly strong one as well. Just because our flamethrower here does fire damage does not mean we are basically shoehorned into doing fire damage. As you can see right there, we actually managed to slow down time. If you perfect dodge enemy attacks in this game, you will get what's called a perfect dodge, what freezes down, slows down time in a way for you to basically maneuver out of waves of attack, or maybe get a drop on an enemy, putting extra damage into them before time basically goes back to normal speed. And because of this roguelite progression and we gain experience as we kill enemies, we level up. Whenever we level up, we are giving a passive benefit essentially here. The 3 we have is crit chance, weapon damage, and battle results. Battle results basically says every time we complete a challenge, we get some gold based on how high our battle rating is. The more battle rating results we have, the more gold we're going to get. I'm going to go with weapon damage for the time being, and then we're going to pick up our insectoid core. I think we're going to go with... I think we're going to go with just like the rare option for right now. We might not necessarily want to have it equipped, but we can actually do things with insect cores that we don't intend to use. I'm going to go ahead and take up some extra shooting range so we can attack from a distance. I am going to equip this from now, because why not? It is just a passive benefit to have it unlocked. And then we can go for Fortune Plunders, which is going to give us a number of gold or another core. I'm going to go with the core, because there are ways to get a substantial amount of gold. Oh my god, I think I saw those rockets just fire off the double wave. And that seemed to be pretty gnarly. So as you can see right here, I am not really messing with my rage attack too much. I do want to try to save those for my for elite bosses and stuff like that. And you'll know when you come up to an elite. They'll actually be labeled elite stage when we move on. I'm going to go ahead and increase our explosion chance. The more enemies explode, the faster it is that we're going to send rockets. Let's go ahead and take fire insectoid core level 2 for fire. Gives us extra 18% rage attack damage. So if we ever decide to use our right bumper attack, it is going to in fact hit a lot harder. I will show you what they look like. We can go to a core, shop, or body enhancement. I'm going to go to body enhancement. Body enhancement generally increases your health by 20%. This is my rage attack right here. If I go over here, and it basically does a shotgun with this specific weapon. If I were to use my ultimate attack, it'd be like that, but on crack. It's pretty impressive. You'll see it. Oh my god, those homing rockets were insane. Alright, and from there we got crit chance, weapon damage, and cooldown reduction. I'm going to go with weapon damage. And we're going to pick up our increases maximum health. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily say 20% health, but we did get 234 extra health. I think that sounds somewhere about right. And here's an elite enemy, and I'm actually going to save my... I'm using my ultimate attack here, so we need to get one more charge, essentially, of rage. The bar is almost full, so there is that good news. I tend to try not to get hit with these things, by the way, because you can, of course, heal, and there are definitely ways to heal your character. But, you know, few and far between. You got to know exactly what you're doing in order to get the heal. You can either get lucky with health drops off of enemies. Occasionally, you might get a heal room, but there are even passives that allow you to heal. Looks like we do have some shadow insectoid cores. I am a big fan of the shadow ones. I'm going to go with the critical hit damage, the fixed damage, and the perfect dash duration. Basically that slow time effect whenever we dodge enemies. We're going to pick up some dark crystal core, and we're going to pick up this over here, rare chest. And let's see what we got here. Has a level up, has a 10% chance to grant an extra draw of an insectoid core. That sounds pretty good. When acquiring gold, weapon damage increases by 3%, stacks up to 30 times, lasts until battle ends. I don't like anything that lasts until battle ends. Fortune gold is also really good. I think I'm actually going to go with this one, because I want to get as much extra damage as I possibly can. Let's increase our explosion chance. And if you want to look at your stats, you can just pause the game over here. And right now, our probability to have an explosion is 17%. I'd like to bump that number up even more. Let's go ahead and equip the shadow core. And looks like we got core plunder or body enhancement. I'm going to go with body enhancement again. I want to get my health up. I'd like to have reasonably over 4,000 health. That sounds like a lot of health. It is. But that's reasonable to have a lot of health. I'm just trying to ignore these enemies for time. The little small dudes. Mostly because of the fact that they are bombers. Their whole goal is to just mess up your whole day. And we are struggling here at the start, but once we get basically a pair, like a step 2 of any of the cores that we currently have available, which really we have a choice from fire, earth, dark, ice, and wood, because I think that's pretty much everything minus time. Alright, let's go ahead and up to 34 in health. And I think we go with... I'm going to go with treasure hunting this time. I want to get some more, like, relics, essentially. They're pieces of gear that work in the background. You don't have to have them equipped whatsoever. They work regardless, as long as they're just in your inventory. Those homing rockets are insane. Alright, I'm just trying to stay out of my way. Please, thank you. That's a healing right there, and a matter of fact, we actually have a passive through our metagame progression that says whenever we pick those up, I think we get an extra 60 health. I believe that's correct. Look at all those rockets. That's insane. They're just going to dance right there until they hit something. We can go ahead and reroll, or you can go with this. Boost rage recovery speed with each attack on enemies. I'm going to go with that one. The faster we're going to build up our rage, the more we're going to have it. A single instance of damage you take cannot exceed 80% of your current maximum health. Drop seed rate. I think we're going to go with that one. And then we're going to do a mirror challenge or core plunder. Mirror challenge makes you fight doppelgangers of yourself at 50% of your power, defeat them, and you get a free level up plus a bonus. And then after this, it's a guaranteed elite boss room. Or not elite, but like, or not boss room, but like elite. But yeah, these guys are fairly simple to take out if I don't get hit by them. It looks like I suck at fighting myself. We got an extra level up there. We got 15% guaranteed experience as we play through the map. And I'm going to go ahead and roll here. I'm going to go with explosion chance. That's what I really want. I want to increase my explosion chance as much as I can. Oh, well, let's get out of here. I'm just going to sit over here on the backside. We're far away from the elite boss guy. He's easy enough to deal with, but I would rather take out all the enemies first before we get onto him. Luckily, he isn't pursuing us super hard. But now that we've done that, we can go ahead and activate this. And we won't have it immediately for as soon as the boss shows up. Oh, and I didn't realize I can actually swivel that. That's interesting. I'm going to go with level up. Has a chance to grant us an extra draw of an insectoid core. And refresh. Weapon damage. Pick this up. Looks like we go with wood. I really like the idea of doing a wood synergy right now. Mostly because now we have vines. And those vines will attack whatever we are attacking. They're nice little friends. Let's go ahead and head over to the shop. And it's here that we have a couple of options here. This is our vendor. We can make purchases from him in the form of passives. I'm going to go with the boss area recovery, or whenever we enter a boss area, we get 20% a rage recovery speed. I'm assuming that means we get more rage while we fight him. Over here we have a vendor who will sell us insectoid cores of varying rarity. And this over here is a forge. And essentially what we can do is we can take any cores that we have currently available to us, such as this one right here, and we can do things like taking a whole bunch of blue ones or gray ones, anything that matches the same rarity, and we can basically reforge them together to make another insectoid. So if I had a blue fire, a blue rock, and a blue time stone, I can combine them together and they become a purple rarity, so like the epic rarity, and it choose a different element. So that's pretty interesting, especially if you're trying to get rid of cores that you no longer need or don't want. If we don't want them, we can come over here and dismantle them and get refinement material. And this will allow us to do several things, such as reforging or enhancing them, or basically changing the stats on them. So let's say that I didn't want a firestone. I can come in here, and I can dismantle it to get 30 of this elemental stuff. I could refine it, and basically, I believe this would just... oh, you can see it over here. Reroll stat affixes of your insectoid core. We could enhance it if we really like it for a very expensive amount, or we can reforge it and hopefully get maybe an element that maybe we would like. I'm going to try to see if we can get an element we could like. And we got a shadow one. That's pretty cool. I don't mind the shadow ones. So we're going to go ahead and go with that one. Actually, I want to try to see if we can get something with this wood one over here. And I believe we got 2 shadow ones right there, which means, I believe... Do I not have them equipped? Oh, I don't even have them equipped. Do we actually have 3? We have level 3 shadow. I didn't even realize that. So now with the level 3 shadow, every 5 seconds, 30% chance to summon a shadow clone, inheriting 100% of your damage. And the level 3 version of this one basically changes it to instead of every 5 seconds, every 3 seconds, our clones get spawned and they inherit 200% of our damage, which is really, really nice. So not only do we have vines and attack with us, we also have these clones that are going to show up, and they're definitely going to help us make work of bosses. This is the first boss. These guys start off fairly simple, but as they get harder in the difficulties, they actually do get new weapon sets. So that is important to know, because I did not know that. And that little blade right there, very annoying to deal with if you're not familiar with what you're doing. I'm going to move out of the way of this guy. And my shadow clones and my vines are really, really helping out here. Oh, we got hit. That's okay. It's only one time. He's still got 6 health bars, so we gotta be very, very careful about that. He's walking right at us. There is no contact damage, which is nice. But there is contact damage if I run into his blades. Ooh, and those rockets absolutely destroy, so we definitely need to get our explosion up. The more our explosions go off, the more those rockets are going to show up. It's nice. We got a health recovery here. We got a soul brand. Soul brand is that material I told you it's used to basically unlock new weapons. We got some dark core crystals there. That's for our meta progression, like, you know, extra health when we level up, that sort of thing. Miracle chest here. Looks like we have taking damage has 60% chance to reset your heavy attack cooldown. Killing elite or boss level enemies has 40% chance to drop ascension potion that upgrades 1 random item in the backpack by 1 level, or permanently gain an extra 10 fixed damage for every 100 gold obtained. That sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna go with this one right here though, because we will find a number of elites and bosses. Over here, it looks like we have ourselves some new stones. This full blast one right here says every 6 attacks, light attack becomes 1 strike and fires 9 shells at enemies. That sounds pretty sick. We are kind of going on this shadow build so far, which has been pretty nice too, so we can get rid of the exclusive affix and go for this one. This gives extra damage to bosses, extra fixed damage, extra crit hit damage, extra rage attack damage, and every 6 shadow clones triggering shadow rampage multiplies shadow clones by 5. Duration for 15 seconds. That sounds sick as hell. Let's go ahead and equip that one. Plus, that gives us a level 4. At level 4, our shadow clone duration is increased by 100%, and our max shadow clone count is increased by +3. I'm thinking we go like a shadow build now. I really like the vines, but I don't know. Maybe we go vines and shadow, because we can actually get like tier 6 of shadow. I think I have enough slots where we can get level 6 of this one. We got 5 on top. So yeah, we can get a 2-piece and keep the vine and get a 6-piece of the shadow if we really wanted to go that route. Alright, immediately I'm already starting to feel a lot more powerful. Oh, I did still get hit there because I'm a big dummy. I didn't let my shadows do the work. We're going to come in here. Let's re-roll. We can go with the explosion enhancement. Increases our damage with explosions by 15%. I say we do that. Or, I mean, yeah, we'll go with that one. I think we'll probably have that happen more often than not. Let's go ahead and go with the rare one. At this point, I don't think it really matters on those. We'll have it equipped just to have the passive benefit. But I don't think it really matters what the elements are. We just want to try to get as many shadow and or wood. Maybe like a better wood core. Almost got hit there. Stay out of the path of that. Even some enemies really do have these telegraphed attacks, but some of them you just gotta watch the wind up on them to kind of get a better idea of what's going on. There are some enemies that really just they glow red for an instant before they get ready to attack, and some of them I still really haven't been able to tell that anything even happened. Go ahead and increase our life. There we go. We're at 2417. It's not bad. Let's do the rage recovery speed. Yes, even more rage being built up. We will go with, let's go with treasure hunting here. I want to try to see if we can get some more artifacts for our characters. I don't even know if they're actually called artifacts. Treasures, I guess, would be the best way that they'd want to describe them. The good thing about having these extra clones with us is that the enemies tend to sometimes trigger, like, follow them instead, which is nice. Go ahead and get this common chest here. We can go with, ooh. Let's go with Fortune Gold. Get this extra health on the ground. Level up. Explosion chance or weapon. I'm going to go with the weapon damage. Let's go with Core Plunder. I do want to keep on collecting cores because if you can actually afford to upgrade your cores to a another tier, especially legendary, they're going to get those affixes that are basically going to give them extra passive abilities that are very strong. And there we go. We can go with explosion damage. Sure, why not? Let's go with explosion damage. Go ahead and pick up a core. Looks like we're going with the water one over here. The rarer they are, or the more of the rarity we have whenever we basically reforge them together or synthesize them together, the easier it is going to be for us to essentially get a better quality core. I'm gonna go ahead and use my ultimate here, clear everything out. I'm betting I didn't hit the elite. That's fine. I'm assuming he's going to die on his own. Oh, that was a number of hits that I am not comfortable with. We got hit quite a bit there. Oh, and there's purple on the ground. It is almost dead, though. I don't know if I'm supposed to be dodging those like that, but I did. We'll go with that one, sure. Pick up a rare chest here. We got Shatter Strike. Each dash applies a stack of Wind Gather, increases weapon damage by 3% per stack. Gain 1 stack for rage attack every 10 hits. Each stack increases rage attack's bonus damage by 30%. I think we're going to be doing that one because we're going to be stacking up our stuff a lot before we use our rage attack. We'll reroll this one. Let's go with the shooting range. We'll go with the treasure hunting, I believe. It could have been very possible that if we had managed to get the elite in our attack, we might have been able to basically one-shot it because we are doing a lot of damage. And it looks like my shadow clones are also, they said inherits my damage, but also it looks like they inherit my ability to proc the explosions as well. which is very nice. Common chest. Gain fixed damage equal to 10% of your max health. I do like to have that one. But I do need a way to increase our max health. There is a way to do it. We just haven't found one just yet. Let's go ahead and go with Core Plunder, kind of toggling between these two. You can see the missiles are still making good work of enemies. And we are absolutely destroying enemies with a combination of our flamethrower and our clones. Let's go with the insectoid core for thunder. And we got one more room before we have a hit an elite room, and then we'll hit a shop. Yeah, might as well go for a treasure hunting. We are still searching for a maybe a piece of gear that will essentially allow us to increase our health. Essentially, the one that I really like says that if you manage to get through a room perfect clear without taking any damage, you'll get an X amount of permanent health added to your life bar. And I do like that one. Common chest. Unfortunately, we didn't get it here. It's going to go with the get extra 30 fixed damage for every 100 gold obtained. Level up. We'll re-roll here. Let's go to shooting range. And I'll take a fire core. Elite challenge. And we're going to try not to use our... Actually, it doesn't matter. We can use it here. We'll use one. We should still have enough. Hopefully they're beating on him well enough. It looks like we managed to perfect the room, but I mean, we don't have the perfect bonus yet for health yet. But we didn't get hit by him, and that is what we were really going for. Not getting hit. We go with the fire one here. And increasing the damage we do with our rage attack. Ascension potion. Looks like we got an upgrade on one of ours. Crit rate increased by 5%. That's a legendary one. I'll go ahead and take it. And we could go ahead and equip some of these. Do we want to get rid of any of these? What is the... I do wonder what the fire one is. Light attacks have a 30% chance to fire 3 fireball upon hitting an enemy, dealing 300% weapon damage. That does seem pretty strong. What is the ice one again? I don't want to get rid of the ice one. That seems pretty good. I believe maybe we need to actually look at removing this one and equipping the water one. Is that... Oh, is water and ice two different things? Oh, I guess they're two different things. I thought the water and ice... Or I thought maybe... I guess I was wrong. Okay. See, I'm still kind of learning... Oh, no, we didn't go to the shop. No! Alright, I'll be fine. We didn't really need the shop anyways. We'll be fine. We'll hit the shop as soon as we hit level... the next level biome. There we go. Enemies cleared. Get with the plus 20 battle results, giving us extra money whenever we complete a room. We'll go with the wind insectoid core. Boss challenge. Alright, we gotta take out these worms first here. This is actually one of my favorite looking bosses. It's also very predictable, and I really like that, but don't get it wrong. These little heads here are very annoying to try to deal with. Looks like the first little mini worm is dead. Just like focus on this one. Looks like our vines are still doing some excellent work. Alright, so those little guys are out of the way, so now we can focus on the boss. Watch out for his tentacles. Hit him with the ultimate. And we'll get back in it. Unfortunate bit is whenever he does his little AoEs, it does tend to kill my shadow clones, essentially. At least the vines don't go away. He does only have 2 health bars left, so that's nice. Almost got enough to do an ultimate. I think it's gonna be dead right when we get it, though. Probably no point in doing it. There we go, boss down. Saving our ultimate for our next encounter, or whatever we find next. It's gonna give us some difficulty. Take a sip of my coffee for victory. Looks like we have... Ooh. Explosions trigger 1 additional time. That sounds pretty cool. Earth Cannon. Critical hit has a 30% chance to trigger Stone Hammer attack, dealing 500% weapon damage. Each insect core earth socketed increases trigger chance by 10%. That's pretty nice. On Shadow Clone, Shadow Mimicry, hit 30% chance to restore 15 health. That sounds pretty busted. You gotta pick this one up. What do we got here? Gain fixed damage equal to maximum health. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that one. Ascension Potion. I don't know which one. Plus, say Tortoise Shell? We have something called Tortoise Shell? Oh, this one. Okay, so this one got leveled up right here. So, any single instance of damage cannot exceed 60% of your current health. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove this fire one and swap it out for this shadow one. And now we're at level 5 shadow. So at 5th level, when a clone disappears, it becomes a shadow soul, dealing 300% heavy attack damage per second for 9 seconds. That's pretty awesome. And the final level says for each clone effect active, heavy attacks deal 50% damage. Oh, so it's kind of stacking buff to have all those shadow clones up. Nice. Especially when we pair it with that one that summons extra shadow clones. Which one is it? It is every 6 shadow clones triggering shadow rampage multiplies shadow clone by 5. Okay. Oh my god, my missiles are going off. I don't even think I really got into that fight. I think my clones did a majority of it. We can see our rockets like flipping out over there. They have nothing to hit. I am not comfortable with the amount of health that I have. I desperately would love more health, but the game has saw fit to basically make me a glass cannon for the moment, which is not great, honestly, because of the fact that starting with this boss on this biome, the bosses are going to get fairly tanky. I mean, that's what happens whenever you get into the harder difficulties, obviously. But it's become noticeably tankier than the previous boss. And the 4th boss is no slouch either. He's got so much going on, and the only thing I can think of is to basically get as much health as possible, which is not happening. The only way we've been getting extra health lately is just by getting these rooms, the body enhancement runes. Let's go ahead and leave out of here. Let's go with the mirror challenge. I should be able to clear my guys off the board. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, apparently clones killed them. Extra level. 15% extra XP. I think this is the second time we've actually gotten one of these mirror rooms, which is nice. I'm going to refresh. Explosion chance. What is our explosion chance to now? 26% chance. I'm okay with that. Those 2% we've been getting have really been adding up. Let's go ahead and go to a store and see if we can do anything. Maybe we'll even get a passive. Like that one. On perfect clear, fixed damage increased by 30 plus 30. Yeah, I like that one. Let's refresh it. There we go. That's what I want. Every time we clear a room now, we get an additional 60 health. Let's go ahead and go. Actually, I want to buy that. Do I want to buy it? Maybe not. Let's see if we can what we can do with these. What I want to do is get a shadow one. I was gonna say frost, but we don't want a frost. Let's go ahead and synthesize these together. What do we get? We got a water one. Okay. Not ideal. What does water do? Let me get one of these water equipped. Water says, after continuous movement, trigger ride the waves. Movement speed increased by 30% and gain 1 waveborne stack. Each gives us 15% weapon damage. Okay. Ride the wave duration is longer. On trigger, gain 1 additional waveborne. Okay, so a lot of this ride the wave stuff seems pretty interesting. I don't know, it seems like it's very movement heavy for sure. Nothing wrong with that. Not the playstyle I'm going for currently. Let's see, is there anything else we can reforge here? We don't have 3 blues. Actually, we do have 3 blues. I don't really care about losing my vines. There's another water one. Okay. And now I can combine these. Oh, they actually stayed as a water. Nice. Well, that's interesting. And honestly, I don't really particularly care for that. So what we can go over here is we can come over to Reforge. I'm going to dismantle this. And there we go. And then what I can also then do is try to reforge this maybe into something we want, which we got it. There we go. And I don't want to lose the affix. And I don't know if we're going to lose the affix if we change that one. So I guess we keep it as is. But now we have a 6-piece of the shadow. So that's nice. So now our heavy attacks are empowered for every shadow we currently have available to us. And it's a 50% bonus per shadow, FYI. I'm gonna move out of the way of these orbs. I don't want none of that. Oh, we did get hit by that. That sucks. Looks like we're not gonna be getting our health bonus. And I am not dodging at all. Oh my god, what is up with this guy? He can teleport like crazy. Or not teleport, burrow. I wasn't expecting him to move that fast. I've never fought this one. That's probably why, but we took so much damage there. We can recover though. As long as we play safely, we should be able to recover because we do have the healing on our clones. They have a chance on it to give me 15 health back. Let's go with body enhancement for sure. So we started out with 964 health, I think. 1024. Let's see how much health we can get back in this room. $1024 and we moved it to 1279. Not bad. We're at 3024 and we gain a lot of health there, I think. Let's go with the battle result, actually. I want more money. I want to go with core because we need to find another ice one potentially. But if we don't care about getting the ice bonus, I guess we can just go try shooting for another legendary, see what kind of affixes we can get on them. We'll go with, let's get ourselves some crit chance in there. Crit chance is 14%. We'll go with, it doesn't matter, because we're just going to combine them together. Hopefully we can get something nice out of that one. Let's actually go with some gold here. And the good thing is, because we've been getting all the shooting range, we can choose to actually stay all the way this far back. Unfortunate side of things is that we can't see what we're shooting at. But the positive thing is our shadows are face taking a lot of the stuff that would normally be prepped for our face. I love that volley of rockets. That is a nice volley of rockets. Cleared that room out, which means we get extra health back, and we are almost back to our maximum health. We also got fixed damage going up as well. That's our base weapon, or wait, no. Our fixed weapon damage is 1815. So I honestly wanted to know what the fixed weapon damage plus the base weapon damage, like what's the distinguishing factor between those two things? Because there are not very many options to increase your base damage. As far as I can tell, there aren't any. Is the fixed damage added to your base damage? Either way, I seem to think that it definitely helps out. Oh, this is an elite room too. I didn't even realize it. We can choose to... There we go. And we managed to kill that elite and not even see his face for real. It was a fire elemental. I've seen those guys before. We'll take that Rage Rising. Core we'll go with... Oh, look, we have another ice one for once. I'll take that. And now we can take this one off and actually put on the ice one and at least have another bonus. So now we have this ice aura. It's not a very big aura, is it? That's fine. Homing damage on our missiles increase. Sure. Looks like we have a shop, fortune, or core. Let's go with the shop since it's the one right before the boss. Body enhancement, revive ring. Okay. Be really nice if we had the one that actually gave us a revive. Oh. These are both awesome. So is this one. And it's less expensive. I would like the free coupon, but I want some of the money to kind of reforge if possible. We don't have any cheap cores here that are blue. No, we don't. So what we have is here the option to maybe... We don't really have any options here. Actually, we could reforge one of these, seeing if we can turn it into a better shadow crystal. Oh, I refined this one. And I basically re-rolled it. We haven't... Oh, wow, we have exactly enough to enhance this. Enhancement strengthens the insectoid core stat affixes once. Okay, so it doesn't even raise the rarity of it. We got a time one here. Okay. There's a thunder one. I thought for a second that was a shadow. As you can see, it gets progressively more expensive. And we can take this one and we can replace one of our lower quality cores with the purple one. There we go. That should do for now. Actually, we could re-roll these three together. Got a purple blood insectoid core. Okay. And if we get another purple one somewhere else, we can re-roll these together to make a legendary. Maybe something we'd actually want to equip. Let's go ahead and add into the boss room. This one could be fairly problematic. We're going to see. I imagine I'm going to take some damage here. There is one new attack he gets in this particular fight he doesn't start out with. Oh, we can actually freeze him with that one? I thought the Frost Aura maybe just, like, slow them down. Oh, these orbs right here. I hate them. Okay, so they're gone. I'm gonna get out of there. And we're gonna hit him with this one. Make me immune to these things for a little bit. And of course, he went with summon more. He's going over there. Ouch. Somehow we got hit by that, but okay. We're about almost rage ready for our ultimate. Let's go ahead and hit him with that. Almost dead. We are taking some hits here, really fine. He is dead. All right, third boss down. Take the healing. Oh, we got one, another one. Grants a stack of fighting spirit. Heavy attacks deal damage increase 15% whenever critical hit is activated. Grant a stack of fighting spirit. Heavy attack damage increase 15% whenever critical hit is activated. I guess we get an extra stack every time we critically hit. I guess that's what that's trying to say. It's a funny wording on that one. I guess we'll have to see. Triggers incineration every 30 critical hits, doubling damage for 9 seconds. That sounds pretty sick. Gain 1 stack of frenzy per 5 critical triggers. Each stack increases weapon damage by 10%. Max 30 stacks. Lasts for 9 seconds. I'm gonna go with that one. I don't know which one of those is actually better. I guess we're about to find out. Only time will tell. Alright, let's get the start on this new biome. Oh, I guess I do need to equip said new thing. I'm gonna remove that. I don't really care about the ice bonus, honestly. The freeze is pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But I think we'd be better off with these affixes that give us extra benefits in our combat. Let's go with explosion damage. Insectoid core. Insectoid core. There we go. We can go Fortune Plunder or Core Plunder. I'm going to keep on going Core, and then we'll take some money after that. Our damage is continuing to go up, which is nice. These shadows are incredible. Oh, we took a hit. That's unfortunate. Didn't happen too often, and we'll be able to recover quick enough, but it did happen. Rage recovery, legendary, 8%. What's our rage recovery? It's actually not listed over on the left side, I don't see. Is it? Like, is it? No, it's not. Weird. I wonder why rage recovery isn't counted into that. Is it a different stat? Ah, there it is. 22%. Okay, I see. Oh, it also shows us the gold obtained. Nice. Let's go to treasure hunting. I am very happy about the one bonus we got earlier that basically says that no hit can exceed 40% of our damage. That is the one thing I am very concerned about with this next boss, is that it can do a lot of damage real fast, and those hits, they're all fairly chunky hits. I'm actually considering maybe using an ultimate here, because these guys are hella tanky as well. But now that we've not been sandwiched in the middle of the room, we're in a good place. See, I feel like this would be very hard to do. Oh, we took another hit, because I'm an idiot. No need for me to get this close. I'm mostly trying to get the flamethrower, but I think our flamethrower also benefits from our range. Let's see. Gain max fixed damage equal to 40% of your health. Okay. We'll do that one. What's our fixed damage at? 2312. Cooldown, explosion chance. Let's re-roll all that. For worse options, apparently. Oh, we'll get some attack speed. Homing missile damage. That's fine by me. Body enhancement? Sure. Aww. We've been getting tagged a little bit here and there in these missions, and it's kind of sad because those are bonuses, easily achievable bonuses. But I'm a big dum-dum. You can't help but put in my face and stuff, even though I am a ranged character at the moment. We'll go with the, honestly, we're going to go with the homing missile damage. Life capsule, there we go, extra health. And we are closer to that 4,000 health point marker than I thought I was going to be. Elite challenge is trying not to lose too much health here. Matter of fact, apparently this guy can just ignore my stuff. And he's dead, so that's good. And luckily for us, most of the enemy fodder stayed on the right side of the screen. I don't even know what they look like. Good, they were ugly. I didn't want to look at them. Insectoid core, shadow, water, and wood. Ascension bonus, flaming stone of wrath. Entering a boss arena gives us 40% recovery speed. I know it's an area. My brain does something different. Rare chest. Sure. It's a little too late for that one, honestly, because we do only have, like, I don't know, 5 rooms left? Yeah, like 5 rooms. Let's go with treasure hunting. But we got some benefit out of it. We've at least got an additional 60 fixed damage from there. Battle results, a little too late to be getting that, but it's legendary, and it still helps. For every 100 max health, increase weapon damage by 9%. Nice. Nothing there. We can go ahead and do an enhancement. Increase our homing missile damage. Yes. 3,088 it says. Let's go with treasure hunting. I'm not going to worry about going to a shop until the node before the boss. Let's try not to get hit. I want my extra damage. Let's just stay at ranged. Play it safe. There we go. I saw some health back here. Pick it up. That does give us some extra health, I believe. Common chest. Attacks apply faint, reducing enemy damage by 1.5%. Max 10 stacks. I don't care about that. That doesn't seem very strong, does it? Max 10 stacks. I wish that was way higher. Especially for rare. I don't know. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. We could probably use that. We're going to get more benefit out of that than we will out of the extra health. Seeing as how we only have 2 more rooms left. Mirror challenge. If the enemies don't spawn on us, we're perfect. We're perfect. Awesome. Extra character level. Extra experience gain. It's not really going to do much for us. Fixed damage continues to go up. We are at 2920. Almost 3,000 fixed damage. Reroll here. Homing missile damage, 15% increase. Absolutely. Elite challenge. Probably going to get stomped a little bit here. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. I just want to stand over here on the far end. Oh, hey, oh, okay, that was close. Could you not? Stay over there. I'm social distancing. I don't even know if I'm hitting him. Yes, I'm hitting him. He's dead. There we go. And we'll go with... Doesn't matter. Rare chest. While stationary, recover 1% rage a second. Sure. Probably not going to be able to stand still too much during the last fight here. But we can give it a shot. We'll head over to the shop here. What I would really like is the... Actually... Did we already get that already? Hold on. Do I have the revive already? I can't remember if I picked that one up yet. I guess not. I thought I had the revive. Because you get a revive purchased. So this added 600 health to my character. That's pretty nice. I love that you can actually see the bonuses that were applied. Alright, so let's see if we can get a revive in here then. We'll take this one. Oh, we can't re-roll anymore. That's sad. Alright, so this is our only life. So if we die, we're dead. That's generally how it works anyways. Let's go ahead and combine these. and barrage. Triggers an additional homing missile after 2 heavy attacks while increasing homing missile damage by 120%. That's insane. Alright, and then we can do this, this, and this. And then we got another one of these earth ones. Not a big fan of that one. We can reforge it or dismantle it for currency. Let's do that one. And then we can... See, it's actually pretty sick. I think I actually want to equip this one. What is the other one that I have equipped? I had the wood one. Let's go ahead and equip this one. And what would be really cool is if we could take the wood one and reforge this into another shadow. Oh, hello. Oh, but wait, is this one we already have? I think it might be. Duration increased by 30%. Every clone present critical damage is boosted by 50%. No, okay, so it's not one we have. And it is technically better. Because we do have a blue one. Let's go ahead and equip that one. And then we combine these right here. And then combine these. And we got a purple one. Oh, but these were all... Okay, never mind. I think we're pretty good. We got 3 legendary cores. And 3 purple. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Oh, we can even see all the bonuses we get from our stones up here. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and go into this fight. Hopefully 73% health is going to get us through this fight. This one's a rough one. I really wish I had that revive. Oh my god. That was almost no. We can turn this up at the boss. That is a lot of... Oh god. We gotta be ready to move here. There is an enemy here. I didn't know enemies actually spawned in this one. Oh shit, that is a fast sweeping laser that hit us twice. Wow, okay, some of these laser readings are very hard to see on the ground. I'm assuming it's sweet. Oh, wow. Okay, so that corner definitely not safe. He has got so much health. We are basically... Oh my god, and we died. I'm not sure if I particularly like the fact that he hangs out in the back of the room. It seems very hard to fight him when he's in the back. You can't really aim upwards, per se. It's back, you know, basically back, left, and right. Although, maybe there is a chance that I was hanging out in that corner and there was something in the middle of the screen left there for me to fight. But that was a good attempt. That was a pretty solid stuff. We came back with 991 of these, what do they call them again? Dark Crystal Cores. Looks like we can upgrade our character even more, get a couple extra things going. I do want to see if there's a way to get our core slots increased, because there are 2 more slots that are locked, and I would really like to have them unlocked. Because that would really help out, right? So that being said, that was a look at Starfire Eternal Cycle. I really do like this game. I think it is fun. I might actually end up spending my cores over here to unlock a new weapon. As a matter of fact, if I can get 6 of them, can we get 6 of them? I might go ahead and take the chance on it. So 600 is going to give me 10. Oh yeah, we can most definitely get 6 of them. Matter of fact, is there one that's 20? Is it something above the Quake Hammer we could take? So how much are these? I know they're expensive. That's 23. That's 20 for the Cyclone Cannon. Base damage 80. Light attack has a 30% chance to fire wind pressure bullet. Heavy attack has 20% chance to spawn hurricane. This one is 23 for the basic damage. 60 summons Thorn to attack enemies with a 5% chance to summon a Spirit Circle. Deals 180 damage per second with an area. 300% weapon damage. That sounds like it could be pretty nice. And what else do we have? We have the Katana, or the Shadow Blade. Base damage 80%, 5% chance to trigger Shadow Mimicry. After 15 slashes, triggers Shadow Slash. Shadow Mimicry triggers a shadow attack initially inheriting 300% damage. That sounds pretty nice. Cyclone Cannon is there, and then the other one we were looking at unlocking for 15 was Quake Hammer. Base damage is 120, 100% chance or 10% chance to trigger Meteorite. Deals 360 damage to enemies, and 30% chance for light attacks to trigger Aftershock. Deals area damage inflicting 600 damage, 500% of that being weapon damage. See, that sounds fun too. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what we're going to run with next, but I am going to be working towards unlocking the rest of the abilities and the weapons and stuff. So that being said, if you like this sort of content, you want to see more Starfire Eternal Cycle here on the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out new videos for this in here soon. That being said, you guys take care, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Later.